It's a new week, which means Rust updates. It looks like the final touches are getting put on a few things like the traveling vendor, the hood and cuffs, and the motorcycle and bicycles, as well as a few other exciting changes. Before we dive in, I wanted to talk to you guys about a project I'm working on called the Crucible Grounds. This is a community event that I'll be hosting in the near future, and I urge you to join the Discord in the description now while it's still early in development if you're interested in participating. I'll be posting announcements in the Discord soon and taking feedback from you guys, so make sure you get in there. Jumping back into the updates, there was a commit towards fixing the ceiling light being difficult to interact with. There's work being done on a crocodile, which would be an amazing addition to the swamps in the game. Get ready for a big chonky boy to nip at your legs in the water. So far, it looks like the bicycles will be spawning alongside of the roads, at the mining outposts, and also at the supermarkets, with a 50% chance of it being a bicycle versus a tricycle. The motorcycles will be spawning at the 3 hangars at the airfield, at the supermarkets, the satellite dish near the shack, one in the parking lot with the overhang in the train yard, one next to the forklift at the mining outpost, 2 underneath the 2-story building at the water treatment, and 1 behind the restricted roller doors, 5 of them scattered around the junkyard and 2 in the car park, and then 1 next to the concrete wall of the big power substations. Currently, it is randomized where they will spawn at in those locations, as there'll only be 16 motorbikes and 20 pedal bikes across a 3.5K sized map. A cool little update for the creators out there, there is a new command to spawn things where you're looking from instead of where you're looking at, which is super helpful when placing down lights. And there's also a new command called trigger event, so you can trigger events more easily and get a list of them by typing it out, which is what we're going to use to spawn the new traveling vendor. It looks like the work is almost finished on this guy, and he plays a nice little jingle now too. Adorable. Look at him go. Look at him go. He's going to knock the bikes off of the road. Nothing's going to stop him. Nothing's in his way. And there's totally nothing that you're going to be able to do to mess it up. It looks like the prices on the items in the shop are going to be randomized, and with every new traveling vendor spawn comes new items along with it. You'll have to buy things one at a time and wait for a short cooldown in between each purchase, but so far from my testing, it looks like you can buy as many as you want as long as you're willing to wait. And alongside the traveling vendor comes dynamic pricing. This is going to apply to all NPC vendors in the game, and the numbers are changing around quite a bit, but it looks like they're going to start at 95% more and then gradually go down over time unless purchases are made, and those will be updated by the hour to determine whether the price of the item in the vendor goes up or down. We'll just have to wait and see once the update rolls out what the actual terms are going to be. There was a commit towards forcing the player to play the full skydiving animation even if the animator controller is currently in a non-accessible state, like dismounting a vehicle that's in the air. I don't really know what this means, but I just wanted to show you this clip of me falling out of the sky in case you've never seen yourself parachuting in third person, because I thought it was funny. The hood and cuffs is also getting the final touches put on it, so we might be seeing this soon as well. Some new changes to this recently are that when a player is hooded, they will no longer have a marker on the map for their team, and when they die, they will not have a death marker. You can now see this wheel that we have to access all of the actions associated with interacting with your victim, including a force mount to vehicles that are within a certain radius of them. Now when you're roaming around with your bicycle on the beach, you can lock a naked up and throw them in the back with you. There's been some new static props added for the map makers out there, and here you can see them on screen now. There's also some work being done on some new cloth physics, which will hopefully fix things like the vampire cape. There was a commit for an ocean wreck buoy, which could potentially be a replacement for the water bottles that mark the shipwrecks out in the ocean. Also, something that did not sneak by me was the importing of the old legacy wood log pile models, which means we might be seeing some new, or rather old, ways of farming wood. When changing the colors of your sheet metal shipping container skins, the spray can will now remember the last used color when opening it up. The underwater fog is currently plaguing the seas, and this will be fixed on ForceWipe. A bug with the elevators not draining battery power has been fixed, and there's been a few changes to the way barricades work inside monuments. Rocks in all rock formations should now be tagged and able to be barricaded on. You should also be able to place them on trail paths inside monuments, but you will not be able to place them on concrete roads inside or outside of monuments, but you will be allowed to place them on dirt paths and dirt roads. And then there's a bunch of little things that I'm going to rapid fire off here, such as the cleanup of unused assets during the warm-up when loading into a server. The cargo ship test has been renamed to cargo ship, and the test riddable horse has been changed to riddable horse. There's work being done on wallpaper, which looks like it's going to be its own item and not a building skin. The cliffs alongside the beach in the temperate region are still under construction. Many brain power is still going into optimizing the memory usage in various ways. A rock, paper, scissors gesture is on its way. And finally, the debug camera can now save any depth of field aperture, blur, squeeze, and barrel values. That's all I got for you guys today. If you're interested in the event I'm working on, make sure you go join the Discord in the description. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a dislike if you didn't, and I'll catch you in the next one.